Okay, we've got the lighting on. Fantastic. Okay, agency update for the month of November. It is now December 2nd, and I'm just gonna report back on everything that's happened with my agency in November. It's been a really big month for us. We did massive numbers in terms of revenue. We did about $72,000 US in revenue in the last 30 days, with about $31,000 in profit for the company before tax, which is pretty much exactly what we did last month. So things are holding steady. Now, obviously, it's Black Friday. I run an email and SMS marketing agency, and it's to be expected, the revenue numbers that we're currently doing, because it's the busiest month of the year. But one thing that we're really seeing that's really cool is we had specific Black Friday offers for a lot of our clients, or people who were clients who are no longer clients who we got back into the fold. And what ended up happening is we pitched them the Black Friday offer, which was a 1-month standalone offer. They took it. It went so well that we actually started rolling them onto regular management. So not only did we get some initial work up front, we also managed to secure some retention work going forward as well for the email marketing agency. My name's Gavin. I run an email and SMS marketing agency, and I make these videos just to document my own journey. And in this month's video, I'm gonna run through everything that happened. So obviously, big revenue month, which is fantastic. Luckily, we didn't have to fire anybody like we had to do in my last agency update. Once again, I record these every single month. The big update though that we have for this month, along with some other things, is that we've just launched a school community. Now, the school community, there'll probably be a little section in this video where we talk about it. The school community focuses on how to become a better email and SMS marketer. And I launched this community, and I had a video as to why I launched this community within the channel as well. But I launched it because I was finding we had a lot of people coming to me who wanted training on how to become a better email marketer, or couldn't afford my high-ticket implementation services and would rather just hire somebody to teach them how to do email marketing. So I went ahead and created a course. I created a school community that has a bunch of modules in it where I essentially go over everything I know about email and SMS marketing and the strategies that we use. Now, we don't have any paying customers for the school community. I literally just launched it at the time of recording this video. It's $1,000, and I charged $1,000 for the entire year's worth of access. And the reason I did it is because I wanted to have a downsell offer for people who couldn't afford my services, but I also wanted to have an offer for people who weren't necessarily ever going to work with me as an ICP, i.e., other email marketing agencies or companies that wanted to build in-house functionality for their email marketing. And I wanted to be able to collect some of that revenue as well. So I created the course, I built a funnel, it's all live. There's a sales page, a sales funnel, all that stuff. There should be a link to the school community in the description as well if you want to check it out. But I'm really, really happy with how the launch has gone. Well, we'll see in terms of revenue in next months, but that was one of my big pushes for the year. And so we got that live, and that's fantastic. So hopefully the revenue from that is also going to eventually outstrip the revenue that we make from the agency itself. One day. I feel like I make all these videos on this channel, and there's got to be some opportunity there outside of just getting clients. Now, we've consistently been producing content across both these channels, which has been fantastic for the agency. That's where we're starting to get the majority of our clients. A big chunk of our clients are still coming from Upwork, where I have my own strategy. Just click the channel and you'll see my whole strategy in terms of how I get work on Upwork, and that's working really, really well as time goes on. Really quickly, sorry to interrupt the video. I just wanted to tell you something really cool that we've started doing with Inbox. I've actually created a school community where I teach you anything and everything I know about email and SMS marketing, from really advanced campaign strategies to how to simply set up your Klaviyo account, all the way to building really, really cool automations for the back end of your e-commerce store. Whether you're a business owner trying to learn how to do email marketing or an email marketer trying to learn how to become a better email marketer, there is a link in the description to this school community where I teach you everything I know. Check it out, it's worthwhile. Book a call to have a chat with me to see if you're a right fit for the community, and if you are, I'd love to get you in there. Anyway, sorry for interrupting your video, let's get back to it. So, school community launched, which is fantastic, and obviously more revenue, fantastic as well. We haven't hired anybody new in the agency, we have a really solid team at the moment. One thing we're focusing on at the moment is, yes, getting new clients, but also increasing our prices going forward as well. What we're finding with the team is I have 10 full-time staff right now, and what we're finding is that a big chunk of our outgoing cost is obviously in salary. And salary is a big expense for us, and it doesn't fully match the revenue. 10 people for $72,000 in revenue seems like a lot of human bodies for an agency of our size. And so what we're doing is, yes, we're trying to get new clients, but we're also trying to get higher paying clients. Because right now my managers are working across a bunch of clients, and for me to load them up with a bunch of $1,000 a month retainers is just gonna burn them out. So one of the big focuses that we're also going into next year is increasing our minimum prices across the entire board. So any of our clients now, the minimum retainer going into next year is going to be $2,000 a month. At the time of recording, it's $1,500 a month, but going forward, it's going to be $2,000 a month. So hopefully we can, maybe take on more clients, but I'd be even happier with less clients and more revenue. So we're going to see how that all plays out. One thing I really wanted to talk about in this agency update is the digital nomad life and how it's kind of bullshit, honestly. I was traveling a little bit this year, rather this month, and I was over in the States seeing some of my family. And I can tell you right now, anybody who sells the work from a beach on your laptop lifestyle is not serious about growing a business. If you want to be a serious business owner, the digital nomad life isn't really a reality. You have to have a setup like this here with a microphone where you can take consistent calls and be working for a big chunk of time if you're serious about growing a business. It does not come from a cafe or from a hostel. When I was traveling, I found it incredibly difficult to schedule calls, respond to work in a timely manner, and I realized that the dream of digital nomad life isn't really a reality. It's not possible. You need to be consistent and dedicated and focused on one thing, and when you're traveling and trying to grow a business, it's just not possible, at least in the long run. What I found when I was running my business while traveling is that I was at best keeping everything steady and fixed. I wasn't growing, I wasn't losing clients, but I was keeping it all steady. If I wanted to grow my business, I need to be in an office like this, recording content, dedicated, sitting down, and it just made me kind of pissed off, honestly. I was sold the dream of being a digital nomad and traveling around the world and doing all that stuff. It's not a reality. So that's a big realization I had this month. And hopefully this video, like I'm recording it, I don't know if this is all stupid and useless for you guys, but I do just want to document my journey for myself, as well as for you guys. Another big push that we've had this month, coming into December, is getting my team to start posting on LinkedIn. I post on LinkedIn pretty much every day, and I've done so for the last 2-3 years. I've been a bit slack the last week, but I really want to start pushing my team to start posting on LinkedIn as well. Because the more engagement in the posts that we can get out there, the more people see our stuff, the more likely they are to come to us. So currently we have 9 team members who are going to be posting consistently on LinkedIn, ideally every single day. We're using a software called RallyUp. I will talk about that software in a separate video later, but this is a big initiative for us. If I can get the entire team to post on LinkedIn consistently, and we're doing this and we're incentivizing it by having a competition so that the winner who has the most engagement gets a prize, hopefully we can get more awareness into our business. Now, I've pitched this as a way, to grow the inbox business, but also to really encourage the team to build their own personal brands. And I've sold it in a way where it's like, hey, you guys can then eventually spin up your own agencies, build your own companies, or get better clients, or eventually if you want to get another job, you'll have this personal following to then, fall back on if you ever want to leave inbox. Not great for me if they leave, honestly, but it's true. If we can build up their capabilities as team members, it'll be fantastic, and they'll have future job opportunities in the future, get better pay, all sorts of stuff. And so ideally, we're doing this big drive where we can get more content out into the world, because really it's a sales and marketing game when you're in business. It's how many clients you can get through the door and how much cash you can collect. And so if we can get these guys to start posting and collecting more cash for us, fantastic. 2 other things I wanted to talk about. My investing strategy for the business. So a lot of you guys who are watching this, if you have a business, you probably have a big war chest, or ideally you have a war chest, money that you put aside in your bank account in case something happens, in case you need to hire new people, build a new website, or you lose clients. You need to have a war chest of fun. We have a really big war chest at Inbox, money that's just sitting in the bank account. And I was recently buying term deposits. So when you put your money in your bank account, you typically get interest on the bank, on the value and the money that you have in your account, but it's not a lot. And when that money is sitting in your account, inflation is gradually eating away at the value of it. So you need to have that money and put it into something that generates a return, whether it's an investment in another business or investment in an initiative, or it's something like investing in the stock market or a term deposit. This is a big thing that we've been focusing on at the moment. And so with the money that we have sitting in our account, one thing I recommend you guys do if you're watching this is I recommend putting it into term deposits. We basically put the money into a term deposit and we get a fixed interest rate. We can't take the money out for a certain period of time, but we get a much better interest rate than we could get anywhere else. And so I'll take like $100,000, I'll put it into a term deposit where we get an interest rate of 3.5%. And then when the term deposit's over, we'll get 3.5% extrapolated over a monthly basis back into our account. So 100,000, I put in a term deposit for 3 months. We get an extra $700 at the end of that 3 months, just to offset the cost of inflation. So it's a really good thing to do if you do have a lot of money sitting in your account. You can also do it in terms of putting it into funds. You can do it in terms of buying stocks, but just keep in mind, those are a little bit more risky and there's a chance that it could go down, especially at the moment with what feels like a big AI bubble. So it's worth just trying to find a better place to keep your money as opposed to the bank, because they give you shitty interest rates. Term deposits is usually better. Stocks can be way better, but just keep in mind it can fluctuate a whole bunch. So the last thing you want is to buy $100,000 worth of stocks, then you have a bill that comes in that you need to use that money for, but you found that your portfolio's gone down by 20%. Super risky to do that. The last thing I wanted to touch on in this monthly update is just the importance of consistency. I keep having to remind myself of this when I'm making these videos and when I'm just operating in the day-to-day of the business, is that consistency is key. So much of my early time when I started my company was looking for like a magic bullet or a magic solution to anything. There's got to be a magic outreach strategy that gets me new clients. There's got to be a magic ad that's going to get me a bunch of work. I don't think those exist, and the closest things I've ever come to is honestly YouTube and Upwork, and I'll make a separate video about that later. But the key thing that differentiates bigger agencies from smaller agencies, or just people who are doing better than others, is consistency in the game. And what I mean by that is the more you work, the more clients you get, more good work you deliver, there's like a compounding snowball effect. We have clients that are coming back to us from 3 years ago who have seen my YouTube content on a consistent basis every single week for the last 3 years. And that consistent work and that consistent drive to put more stuff out there and just consistently chip away at the work day has caused the compounding effect to just hockey stick. If you look back on my videos from a couple of months ago, I'm talking about months where I did like 20K in revenue, and now we're at 70. We've 3x'd in a very short period of time. And it's only because we keep putting stuff out, we keep getting new clients, they refer us new people, they get more people to come into us, then old clients come back, and it all just compounds. When you keep working at putting content out there, delivering good products, delivering good service, the work compounds. Like the value of the work that you put out, or the value of your business, it just compounds, right? 1 + 1, getting a new client every single month doesn't equal, after 12 months, 12 new clients. It actually equals like 24, because they refer new clients. Old clients will like come back after a certain period of time. You'll get more case studies. You just have to be consistent with the work that you're delivering. Hopefully you found this video useful. These are really just rants and rambles that I talk about when it comes to my agency, what I'm learning, what I'm doing. I don't really sell anything on here besides my school community now, which you can check out in the description. And if you want a little bit of coaching and advice, I can definitely teach you that as well. Link to book a call down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.